which for a woman.
That's the one that's coming up.
Yes, yeah. That's why, and when you look at it, that's why this kingdom is so over sexualized, man. You know, every you get on social media, you can do two swipes without seeing somebody with their ass bent over, their titties out. You know what I mean? To basically to keep a man in lust. You know, to keep a man pretty much occupied in wickedness, man. You know, even our thoughts play against us, man, through the spirit, man. All right, so that's why, as you brought out, it says, our man loveth his woman more than, what is it? What was it?
Father, mother.
Yeah, and what do you, how shall I say? Any man that loveth his father, mother, children, all that more than me is not deserving of the kingdom ultimately, man. So keep an eye single is what the message is.
Back in First Ezra 4 and verse 26, it says, "Yea, many there be that have run out their wits for women and become servants for their sakes.
There it is.
Many, one more, verse 27, many also have perished, have erred, and sinned for women." Man, so Jake out here doing all kind of, madness to please these women, man.
Yeah.
And the Lord has a problem with that. You know what I'm saying? He's not with that, man. You know what I'm saying? You ain't supposed to be here to please a woman. Your woman's supposed to please you, man. You know what I'm saying? As a matter of fact, scripture say that in Isaiah 13, I shall make a man more precious than fine gold.
Right.
Golden ways overt.
Right.
You know, see that woman? Go ahead, Doc.
I was gonna ask, did y'all see that video? The elder up there in New York, elder man, escapes my mind. Say that again. No, not the apostles. I can't remember the elder's name, but nonetheless, he did a response video from this one Jake. I'm a Wanga boy. Yeah, elder Wanga boy, the water bro. Yeah, he did a response video about the Jake. You know, he was at this restaurant. He proposed to his woman or whatever, and he got down at one knee, and he said, "I don't know what I'll do without you." And bro, it was it was sad, man. You know, getting down on one, bro. Really, technically, that's worship.
Yeah.
You get that Greek word worship in the Greek, it's a proskuneo, which means to bow down. You know, the obeisance. You never supposed to do that to no fucking woman, man.
Yep.
And the hell, you know, worshiping. That's worshiping a woman, but nonetheless, he's like, I don't know what I'll do without you. You know.
Die, nigga. Yeah. A woman will bow to you.
Right.
She will call you Lord.
Yeah.
You know, but it's like I say, things all turn. It's a 180 when Esau is ruled. Because when you look at it, Esau got the control, and now he gave the woman the power. And see, now he said, like say, not give power over to a woman. When you give that now, Esau put it to a point where if you want to get some type of leeway, you got to give in to the woman a certain way.
Right.
If you don't, then he'll take things from you. You know, he'll take certain things from you. You know. So when you look at back and see how it said give not the power to a woman, Esau has actually been a key part in helping the woman get a rule over you.
Well, that's a part of that fruit in the garden.
Yep.
That's what Eve partook of. Ultimately, just rebelling against the natural order, of things. Yep. And Adam, falling for it, man. This is Genesis 3:16 NLT. Then he said to the woman, I will sharpen the pain of your pregnancy. All right, now this is when the Lord pronounced the curse, of the fruits of partaking of that fruit, of that philosophy, ultimately rebelling against the natural order of things. All right, the Most High, the Son, all right, then the man, and then the woman. You see, but the serpent came in. All right, he said, "You shall not surely die." No, you can do whatever you want. Do as thou wilt, spirit, and there's no judgment gonna come up on you. You could turn these things upside down. The woman can be over the man.
Yeah.
And to Eve, she's like, oh, really?
Yeah.
Because we're about to read it. It says, I will sharpen the pain of your pregnancy, and in pain you will give birth, and you will desire to control your husband, but he will rule over you. You see? So these women clearly, all right, hey man, especially the so-called black woman, all right, bro, this is their main desire. Like when you chilling and everything good, and you think y'all in relationship good, whatnot. Like the apostle said in a relationship. When you think everything good, that bitch, she's plotting, bro.
Right.
She's trying to figure out, okay, she's looking for some type of leverage that she can get over you, man. Right? You sleep, you sleep peaceful. Bitch, she's twiddling her thumb, she just going crazy.
Yeah.
And about to look through your phone and try to think, how can I set this nigga up?
Yeah.
That's why scripture speak about in her heart is snares and banners, man. She's looking to trap you up.
Right.
And you can't be simple thinking not my woman. Yes, your woman, man.
Right.
All these women are polluted, bro.
Right.
It's gone. If I may add, that's why it's what. So like,
yeah,
that's why there's no pleasing a woman Man, here the Lord, as we read here in the scriptures, the Lord gave the woman rights to everything, man. She was on top. And what happened? This the Lord gave them that through Adam. She had everything.
Man,
And still what it wasn't enough, man. So there's no pleasing a woman in there. So another man, come on, man. The scripture talks about you be brought to a piece of bread, man. Ultimately, man, trying to deal with these hoes out here.
but they had that clip. I think it was he was either a pastor or a comedian. He was like he was saying the same thing. You can't please a woman. And he gave the answer with Adam and Eve. And he said, speaking as Adam, look, Eve, look at all this. We got all this beautiful land, and all our dreams are coming true. Everything that we dream of will come true, and all that. And she said, well, yeah, it's just not enough. Damn, it just wasn't enough, bro. And right after that, you had you had, Melissa Ford was sitting with Joe Budden at that podcast, and that bitch said, is that it? Like, right. And everybody, all the men start busting out laughing, like, you just proved this point. Yeah, Can't, hey, man, you can't please a woman, man. So why try? Please the Lord, man.
Yeah.
That's what you should be concerned about, But Esau used a woman as a woman because he sees the influence that a woman can have over a man.
Right.
You see how she can be used as a weapon.
Yep.
Right. The brother said that Satan uses that woman as a weapon, man.
Mm-hmm.
That's the closest thing to you. You know what I'm saying? That's in your household, man. Once you split up with the brothers, you know what I'm saying? You go back to your crib with your kids and your woman now, what are you going to jump on next? Either your kids or your woman. You see, they try to get to you in some kind of way and fuck it up. Like the brother said, she going to find some type of way, some sly shit, like she's still in order. But then she's like, where you going? What it is? Still trying to find some fucking kind of way to clock you and see where you at. Some fucking bullshit, man.
Right.
You see?
That's why you can't really play with these hoes, man. Like, Jake, like, our forefather, who was that? Jacob, spoke about how he was in the field, playing with Rachel. Like they were, just following each other. How Jake did, like when you get comfortable with it. You can't really do that, man.
No.
Because here they take that shit as weakness. You kind of gotta be an asshole, man. You got to keep those. You got to set those boundaries and keep those boundaries, man.
Right.
These are wise words, bro. Because once again, these women ain't looking for any type of thing that may appear to be weakness, and they're gonna capitalize and play up on that shit, man.
Right.
And they're gonna try to play you, man. But we're men in the Lord, bro. So we gotta respect ourselves.
That's right.
It says that in the book of Sirach, 10th chapter. My son. Can I get that real quick?
Yeah.
I was gonna bring out a scripture for it. This Sirach chapter 10 in the GNT. It's Sirach chapter 10 and verse 28 in the GNT. My child, keep your self-respect, but remain modest. Value yourself at your true worth. See? Value yourself at your true worth, man. And that applies in every facet of our life. Right now we're speaking about these women. So if you truly value yourself, at your true worth, man, all right, knowing and understanding that the Lord is dealing with you, okay, well, you should take that in regard to these women that you deal with, man.
Yeah.
You ain't dealing with no damn Big Shirley or no loudmouth Keisha. There's standards, man. Now, of course, we know that none of these women gonna be perfect, but you gonna at least come with some respect.
Yeah.
If we gonna deal, you gonna have to respect me. If not, bye.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's the idea of a woman. See, women don't want you to know your worth. I've had women, you see some women on fire. A woman do not want you to know your own worth. Because then, how you have your worth and you receive your power back. Like, yeah, I'm better than this. You can't keep me down. You can't tell me. You can't really talk to me a certain way. That's when a woman like, damn. That's why she always try to find something like this. A woman, you want a woman to be your friend or your foe. It's always gonna be a foe in your house when you got a woman. Because the thing is, a woman, she may be your friend and might listen to you, but she always look for something to say, okay, I can hold this against her. Yep. At some point, she gonna try to put something in the back pocket that she can say, oh, look, I can do this to you. All right. That's what she's always setting up for. So a woman is really not your friend. All right. She's basically like the apostle says somewhere in this day and time, just get a little putty for her. Get a little putty. You know what I'm saying? Something gonna lay on the hill, but you still gotta be circumspect. You still gotta keep that understanding. Like, I can't tell this woman everything. I gotta sometimes I gotta get away from her. All right. I need some time away from this mother. All right, because you get too comfortable. A woman says she got you, she gonna put her hook deeper in.
Snares and nets.
Yep, snares and nets. Mm-hmm. she's gonna set up. She's gonna constantly set up for it. And because what? Because like I say, she's basically under Esau's vibration.
I was I was literally just going to say that same thing, brother. Ever since the Gardenian pact, man, he pretty much put his vibration on it. And we reading about the scriptures. We reading about all the forewarnings of dealing with a woman.
Right.
That goes all the way back to the beginning. He literally put that vibration right on the woman, man.
Yeah. You want to attack a man, you go through this woman. You want to sneak attack them, you gonna go through that woman. Because what? A man constantly, a man will let his guard down.
Yep.
With a woman. All right. Like you say, it gets a little more softer side of it. All right. You don't keep the guard. You bring them guards down. The woman come, bring your guards down a little bit. Next thing you know, you end up like Samson. All right. You end up like Adam.
Right.
All right. You end up, you know what I'm saying? You go on and on. Solomon. A woman will make you go off. That's why in these times, like you say, you should be acting like you don't have one.
Yep.
Right, you got it. This Proverbs 4:23 in the NLT. Guard your heart above all else.
Yeah, your mind. Guard your heart. All right, because a woman, she will mess your mind up. Like they say, a lot of men that's in prison, majority of them is in prison over a woman.
Yep.
Majority of the prisoners, they wouldn't guard in their hearts. They wouldn't guard in their mind.
Graveyard.
Graveyard. Mm-hmm.
Yep. It says, guard your heart above all else, for it determines the course of your life.
There you go. A lot of these men got determined that what the not guarding their heart, like I say, either in jail or in like I said, or the grave.
Yep.
Because of what? They let this woman bug them out.
The Heartbreak Hotel, like the elder Yarmaya in Chicago say, making a Heartbreak Hotel.
Yeah.
You know, because you wasn't guarding your heart, man. Like, this ain't, bro. First and foremost, a man should never be in love with a woman. It's supposed to be the other way around.
Yep.
You know, but hey, you know, in the flesh, you deal around with a chick, you know, y'all kind of got, you know, y'all have some type of, you know, bond and whatnot. Like you gonna to develop some type of emotion, but we're saying to the spirit, man, you gotta watch it. You gotta watch that, man, because you know, you gotta constantly analyze yourself. You know, and just understand she ain't yours, it's just your turn.
Yep.
And keeping that mindset going into that situation or whatnot, and you know, keeping it, bro, that's is gonna save yourself a lot of, you know, a lot of unnecessary troubles, and ultimately, you know, this helps you walk in the truth, man. Because once again, a lot of men have been uprooted out of this thing, all right, behind the very situation we talking about right now. You know, these women, because they didn't guard their heart. You know,
That's all right. Yeah. This is Rock 33 and 19 in the GNC. Okay, now go ahead. It says,
I'm gonna read from GLT.
it says, never as long as you live, give anyone power over you, whether son, wife, brother, or friend. It says, don't give your property to anyone. You might change your mind and have to ask for it back. I'm gonna jump down. It says, what's like in verse 20, the next verse says, as long as you have breath in your body, don't let anyone lead your life for you. You know, you got a lot of men out there who are letting these women lead their lives, man. You see, telling them, running them ragged, man. I had my grandfather. You know what I'm saying? Well, before he passed away, before my great grandfather and my great grandmother passed away, I grew up, and I grew up from a child. I just seen how my grandmother she ran him. She basically told him what to do. Go get me coffee. Go do this. Go do that. You know. Literally what the brother ran out of his wits, man. You see, and that shit killed him. You know, she died, and after that, he didn't know what the fuck to do. After she passed away, he literally lost his mind and ended up dying not too long ago. You know what I'm saying? Because he didn't know what to do. Depressed, not knowing what, because she ran it. She told him when to jump. You know what I'm saying? When to jump, when to sit down. Literally, bro. You know?
Happy wife, happy life if they push you.
Right.
That shit is utterly bullshit.
as scripture say, for the man was not created for the woman, but the woman was created for the man. That's why listen, that's why I want to say something else, but that's why you women that's why y'all was created, man. Y'all weren't created to, you know, work these petty ass jobs, you know, you down, you know, clerk or some shit. You know, no, you were created for me.
Yeah.
You know, I'm the business.
Right.
Okay, you're supposed to forward my enterprise. Now, of course, being captivity, you know, we just trying to, you know, make the best out of the worst, you know, situation we're in. But nonetheless, that's why, okay, you women are created just like us men, we're created to serve and forward the mission and the will of our husband, man, Yahweh Shai.
Right.
You know?
Yeah. Because what it say when a woman, when first time when man listened to the woman, what it was the woman was the beginning of sin. You know.
So, 1 Timothy 2 and 13. For Adam was first formed, then Eve. That's good. Showing you the order, man. You see, going back to what the brother read in what was that, Genesis 3?
Mm-hmm.
When you read in the NLT, it said that she would desire that curse, that she would desire to control her husband, but he would rule over her.
Yeah.
You see a lot of women, you know what I'm saying, that'll read that and they'll think the curse is a man ruling over them. That's not the curse. The curse is your mindset towards that man and you trying to rule him. You know what I'm saying? That's why Paul reiterated the order too. When you read this, go ahead.
It's 1 Corinthians chapter 11 and verse 3. But I would have you know that the head of every man is a Mashiach, and the head of the woman is the man, and the head of Hamashiach is the Most High Yahweh.
That's the order. Going all the way back into Genesis chapter 2. Now, when the Lord set up the woman to be with Adam, Eve to be with Adam, the order. You see, so it's not a curse that a man rules over you. It's the curse that that war between man and woman that we see playing out right now. You see these argumentative ass, back talk, slick talk ass shit. I always got to say something. Bitch don't know how to shut up. All that shit, man. You see? But soon when the society collapses, everything is gonna go back into place, man. You see, because the only thing that's stopping these women, stopping these men, all right, from really touching these women, is the society is still going, man.
Almost none.
Right.
Exactly.
And who's gonna come to the ring? I don't need a man, but who you call when you need help? Now, who the fuck coming? Is it female cops coming? No, it's fucking men. And if a female cop comes, she gotta have that bitch gotta have a man.
Right.
They're not about to send all female, whole female squad to the, you know what I'm saying? It's some domestic shit.
And that's what
always gonna get whooped.
The only reason why the females on the force because of DEI, diversity, equity,
Right.
inclusion,
Yep.
equality. But Trump getting rid of that shit, man.
Man.
Because bro, that's a woman being a cop or even being a soldier, like, bro, come on.
Bro, I was listening to the Cali brothers on one of their live when they was going live, they were on camp, and they had brought up the point, one of the elders had brought up the point how a woman cop out there, I guess she arrested somebody, but she put him in the back of the squad car, but the fucking squad car was on the goddamn train tracks.
Yeah.
And the train is wild,
No.
Ran to that movie.
This is just examples that women don't need to be in this fucking business. They need to be their ass at home, man.
Were they in the car?
Yeah, she was in the car. The lady was in the car. The cop wasn't in the car.
It's a
This
video.
video, you can see the whole thing.
I seen that shit.
Yeah.
This bitch parked on the That's all they need to be said.
That's it right there.
Yeah. Come on now.
Yeah. She need to be home making some muffins.
Right.
It's not made for it.
Nope.
She's not made for it, man. Women firefighters. Like, what the hell?
Bro, who she finna carry out?
Right.
Right.
Man, 210.
Bro, that's just a bad witch for the fire station. Hey, that's a bad witch for the fire station. That's all I know from personal experience, man. That's all they they're hanging up the fire station. You just got the patch say you're a fire. No, you just did it.
You ain't got any more here. No, you gonna slack. You gonna say.
I'm just gonna say, and the Lord is about to change all that up, cause that chased road. Spoken of in Isaiah the 13th chapter is finna make some things change, bro. It says they shall be at the chased road. For y'all don't know what that is. It's a female deer or a gazelle. You know what I'm saying? That's finna be, so it's about to be running like for their lives out here, man. Soon, gonna be running around here. And you think you women ain't gonna be looking for a man?
Right.
You are going to be, and they show you. All you got to do is watch some of these end time movies, these apocalypse type movies, and you'll see what it is. Now, as a matter of fact, I'm watching this one, the Elder Malcolm, helped me to it. I was listening to this video. He mentioned this is called Black Summer. And I was watching it about the so-called zombies. You see that? I'm watching that now, bro. So on that now, boy. It's a series. It's a series. Okay, in the second season. But it's this one scene where it was a female, her husband and her daughter, which they got separated. The daughter got put on a truck. The military had everything shut down. She got through, but they didn't. The man ended up having some type of wound, and I guess they thought he might have been going infected or whatever. But the wife went with the husband. Daughter goes on the truck. That truck takes off, so she goes with the husband. They go to this little spot and post up. and she ended up hearing noise in the house where she go to another room, find this old lady in the house that was happened to be there. But while she was gone, her husband, I guess the zombie came in, he ended up getting infected, turned, started chasing her ass. She went out the house, he started chasing her. So she come to a fence, climbing up the fence and came, but it's like wired up and she couldn't get over it, but she climbed up it. And he after her, but it's a Jake, I guess the dude is a Jake,
Yeah.
came behind him and shot her. And shot the dude, shot the husband, killed him. And then you should have seen her ass get off the fence and just walked up to him. Right over, just grabbed it. Golden where the supposed to go. Right. Yeah, golden where to go for at that time, bro. And then from that point, she rolled in with him now. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So basically, that's it. That's she is not. She walked
like this.
up slow and just grabbed it. Just that.
Yeah.
Was
like,
she anybody?
Edomite chick.
Yeah.
Jake killed the dude, but then she got off that fence, was happy as hell that he saved her life, man. So that's that chase road. That's it. That's an example of that chase road, man. You gonna have some things after you, which the scriptures go into it. Hey, bro, it's many different. What's that? Amos the 5th chapter.
There's a line, isn't it?
Lion, bear, hey, dodging here, spider. That's that's representative of all them different potential events that can happen or those situations. You run down an alley. At the end of the alley, it's a pack of maybe dogs and wild dog. So you see a door, you dodge in there. You think you safe. Yeah, and you shut the door, but behind you is a pack of niggas.
You done shut the door.
And shut the door and shut your ass in there. You know what I'm saying?
Damn, bro.
And it's weird too, like you said, you mentioned that too, because it was a Jake.
Yeah.
And then you got the book of Eli. All the Edomites, everybody, Jake, the one that's, you know what I'm saying? In times that's really standing. Hey, man, that's the spirit, man.
Yeah, God. Yeah. So you got to get the spiritual in what you're watching, man. But yeah, it's a very spiritual movie. I'm checking. I'm on that series, The Malcolm with the Water. You turned me on to it.
It's Netflix.
Yeah,
Netflix.
Netflix.
Yeah, called Black Something.
Let me check that
Yeah,
out.
I'm on that now. So.
I got something for you. It's when to go to Isaiah 32 and verse 9. It says, "Rise up, ye women that are at ease. Hear my voice, ye careless daughters. Give ear unto my speech. Many days and years, hear that? Many days and years ye shall be troubled, ye careless women. For the vintage shall fail, and gathering shall not come." When we think about that vintage, that the times in the past, you think, that how the joy, you could be out by yourself, I'm every woman, independent, all that is gonna fade. Right? So you're gonna get to a point where it's gonna be like the priest was saying, priest Patak, going into how you're gonna be needing a man when these times come. The bench is gonna fail.
Yep.
You're gonna be needing me. All right, you ain't gonna be out here just all willy-nilly walking around with tight clothes on, high heels, thinking you just gonna go show off your ass, cause the ass can get taken. Like you said, you might see a pack of niggas somewhere. It ain't gonna be a lawless time.
That's why it's called booty.
Yep,
Booty is spoils of war.
that's right.
That's all you hold show is booty. And so that's what the Lord's going to treat you as. That's what you're going to become. That's just what happens in any time when a society collapses. The women and the children, they're taken off as spoils. It's spoils, man. And you women, y'all gonna be bartered in that time, man. Y'all gonna be bartered for a slice of bread.
Yeah, they're gonna be the new commodity, man.
Yeah.
Like Cat Williams on what was that? Next Friday, said everything must go. Might be even you. You talking to that woman.
Yeah.
We know that was a hormone way we were playing the train at the pimp. But that's how it's gonna be. Like, hey, I got this, you got this woman over here.
Yep.
It's gonna be a barter. It's gonna be a barter system at them time. And you might be the one that gotta get bartered out.
Yep. You may need some supplies. Look, I got a couple of women you can have for 45 minutes. I need some. I need some of the beans.
Yep.
I need some of this, such and such. And that's how it's gonna be.
Yep. Verse Isaiah 32:11 say, "Tremble ye women that are at ease, be troubled, ye careless ones. Strip you and make you bare, and gird sackcloth upon your loins." He says, be troubled. Don't be, you ain't gonna be at ease. You're not gonna be like this time like today. It's gonna get to a point where wherever you look, as the priest mentioned in Amos, it's gonna constantly be trouble everywhere you look. You're not gonna be safe in the times where it's gonna be good. You understand, when times get lawless, where it's not no laws in the land, that's when women really become a commodity. That's when women really become scarce out in the street. You ain't gonna see women just walking around.
Right.
Like you said, post-apocalyptic movies.
Mm-hmm.
If a woman out in the street by themselves, it's over with.
Mhm.
Like you said, they was like Eli,
Yeah.
they were using that woman to lure in men before they can get them. But you see a woman out by herself, he already knew something was up with it. She up there sitting down with a basket, looking around with a damn grocery basket. Knowing a woman ain't gonna be out there like that,
Right.
you know.
Yeah.
And the woman that was trailing her, she had never been out of the city,
Right.
you know, because that was protection. But she saw him leaving like he could protect me, so she was what? Following him.
And just like that woman, yeah, I remember brothers put it on the we was watching on the chat a couple months ago back. Woman in New York, she was walking down the street at night on the sidewalk. They had a camera. Dude just walked up and put a damn belt around her neck.
Oh,
Just broke her right there in the car, and just, right in between two cars, and just took her, just raped her right there on camera.
Damn.
She was just walking there by herself. I mean, so but hey, look, at the end of the day, look, this was going to happen. You know, it's not nothing, but this was going to happen. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, he said, damn. But these are times it's going to happen. I just want to pull the scripture real quick. This is 2 Timothy 2:15. It says, we should get straight to the point. Notwithstanding, she shall be saved in childbearing if they continue in the faith and charity and the holiness and with sobriety. So ultimately, that's lining up with Isaiah 4:1. That's lining up with Isaiah 32 and what the brothers are ultimately talking about. Because the Lord has already put the hell on these women out here. Okay, so being saved, if you basically you in order. Okay, so about all that, like the priest brought out even the other night at camp, having multiple wives. You know what I mean? Hell, having one wife is hell, but the Lord will operate this out. We part of that number. Will give us the spirit to be able to deal with that, and even more so, put their ass in the spirit to be able to just follow and be in order. The only way a woman's way out is going to be through a man of the Lord, man. Ultimately, the times we coming into. 2 Timothy 2:15.
Yeah. I got the footnote for that last verse, bro, in the NLT.
I can read.
Go ahead.
It says 2 Timothy 2:15. Notwithstanding, she should be saved in childbearing if they continue in faith and in charity and holiness with sobriety.
Right. So when you look at the footnotes on the blue letter for the NLT, it says in verse 15, or will be saved by accepting their roles as mothers, or be saved by the child, by the birth of the child, by accepting those roles, going back into the role that the Lord ultimately set you up to be, man, under a man in order. You know what I'm saying? A lot of these women don't respect the role, all right, of a man. See, Esau is really, tricked them to think that they can be equal unto a man, and they can be equal unto a man, or even better than a man.
Right.
You see? Hey man, they about to find out, bro. You know what I'm saying? If they not, because like the brother had mentioned earlier, man. All these potential women that get raped, you know what I'm saying, or attacked, you know what I'm saying. It's less likely for a man to attack a woman if she's with a man.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
What is a man look? He's looking for a woman that ain't got no man. She's out by herself. She's vulnerable.
Pray.
So she like the brother said, pray. So these women in these times, man, if you ain't under a man of the Lord at that, you know what I'm saying, you're not gonna make it.
Right.
See, and these women that's gonna be saved in these times are gonna be the one that's gonna accept their role that the Lord set up from them for them from the beginning. You see?
I want to, because I know the brother brought out the Isaiah 32 and 9. I want to go to the top. I'm going to bring out this. I'm go back to Isaiah 32. I'm going to go to the top. And it says in the heading, the glorious future. So these are the things that are coming. And verse 1, it says, behold, a king shall reign in righteousness, which is going into Yahushua, and princes shall rule in judgment, which is his elect, that governing body that's coming to the earth. But it says, and a man, here are the times we're coming into, it's going to lead into that. And a man shall be as an hiding place from the wind and covert from the tempest, as rivers of water in a dry place, as the shadow of a great rock in a weary land. So that wind and tempest, is going into the thermonuclear destruction, which that man of the Lord, just like the brother just read, through childbearing is going to save that woman, because you're going to have to go through a man of the Lord, man. You know what I'm saying? Whether you want to accept it or not, that's your golden ticket. That he's the golden goose, man.
That's right.
Not you. But it says, and as rivers of water in a dry place. Because if you like, for instance, in the desert, man, you know what I'm saying, and you thirsty as hell, and that sun beating down and beating your ass, and you see an oasis or whatever, you know what I'm saying? You run upon some water. You know,
You're not gonna leave it.
you ain't gonna leave. You gonna stay right there. You gonna post up right there, bro. You know, because you don't know if you're gonna run into another one or whatever. So you gonna chill right there.
Hey, some of these wicked women gonna think they see an oasis, but it's gonna be a mirage.
That's gonna cause
Scared Ray Ray.
Nigga
Ain't gonna make it, no?
No.
The waters ain't gonna be either man. It's gonna be like I said, a man of the Lord. Like I said, they're gonna be Pookie and Ray Ray. You gonna think all these oasis would be a fucking mirage.
Hey, what that is.
Hey, man, I want to read that in the NLT.
Just
Yeah, go ahead.
Just one more. It said, and as the shadow of a great rock in a weary land, same thing. A rock gives off shade, man. If you getting beat down by the sun, and you come upon this big rock casting off this shade shadow, oh boy, how you gonna get up get behind there and chill? You know, you're gonna stay right there. You know, cause out there it's not good. You know what I'm saying? So go ahead, make.
I'm gonna read that same one. Isaiah 32, verse 1 and 2 in the NLT. It says, "Look, a righteous king is coming." Who is that? Yahweh Shah.
Yes.
And honest princes will rule under him. Each one will be like a shelter from the wind and a refuge from the storm, like streams of water in the desert and a shadow of a great rock in a parched land. As you know, like the brother had mentioned earlier, like it says in what is it, Obadiah, saviors. So come up there, hey man, that's going into the man of the Lord. You see, they're gonna be the ones. They're gonna be a shelter in that time, man. You see, and just as you got a tree can cover multiple people. You know what I'm saying? You know, there's gonna be multiple women. All right, under each brother, man. You know,
And that because the Lord is gonna cover his men. You know what I'm saying? So that covering for you women is gonna come through that man that the Lord is covering, man.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You ain't gonna be able to stay out there by yourself. Okay, you know, okay, well, go on out there and try your luck then. Let's see how that works out for you.
and
You know?
that I am woman, hear me roar, speaking is gonna be on the fucking window.
Exactly.
Yeah.
In that day.
The spiritual umbrella over us, so you like say you ain't
That's it.
with the. So if you with a man of the Lord, you're gonna be under that spiritual umbrella with him. They're covered.
And just like Noah's wife.
Right.
She wasn't out there building the ark. It was just Noah.
Exactly.
You know, but through his obedience, you know, and her, you know, just falling in line, hey, she got protected as well as, you know, the rest of his household.
Right.
And you best believe, man, hey, when them doors in that ark was when they closed by the hand of the Lord, bro, the way she looked at Noah, you know, you gotta think about it in the spirit, man. It's like she looking at it like, who is this man, bro? Like, you know,
In awe.
in all, man. And that's how these women gonna look at us. Right? Oh my God, out of one. They're gonna cut out of one. They're gonna mean it then. They be doing that fake love bombing now. You know? No. And they gonna really say that out of one. Oh my God, you know?
Yeah. Shaking.
Yeah, shaking. Passing out, looking at you and shit.
Yeah.
Right.
You just saved my life.
Yeah.
See, that's what happens when you get in order, man.
Right.
You see, but these hoes don't want to be saved, like Project Pat said, man.
Like I said, she was in order. She was what, probably while he was working, going to get him water, you know, making him food, you know, whatever you need, my Lord, whatever. She was contributing,
Right.
you know.
I got
Yeah, she probably, you know what I'm saying? No, well, he's building on it. You know, they right now, they don't understand, you know. Like you said, it wasn't until the flood came, and then they were like, damn,
Yeah.
you know, what he, you know, that's,
97 years, they still building.
right. Talking to him, I don't know why you married. I don't know why you married Noah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yo, man, building a boat. Yeah, he building a boat.
Child,
He ain't never rained.
It's probably very spread from different towns and shit. Hey, man, you got this dude, man. He built the ark.
Yeah, you know what?
Like Jack was out there picnicking, sitting out there talking shit while he was building. You know, Jack was out there just watching him.
Hey, bro. But you got, as brothers talking about, you got to think, man. Hey, she was riding for Noah though.
Yeah.
Especially, hey, a lot of people was making fun of her husband, man, but she stood down. That's my man.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
This Isaiah 4:4, it says, when the Lord shall have washed away the filth of the daughters of Zion, and shall have purged the blood of Jerusalem from the midst thereof by the spirit of judgment and by the spirit of burning, man. That's the only way they gonna get right. By judgment, the spirit of burning. That just sounds like you gotta say that with the soul, man.
Yeah.
That's the only way. That's the only thing that makes sense at this point.
Yeah. Right.
You know, it is judgment. So that's what we're waiting on. So as we're, waiting on that, we just praying and hoping that the Lord has mercy upon us, and we're gonna continue to do this work. And Lord willing, man, as long as the Lord has His Spirit upon us, man.
Yeah.
So we could, be up underneath the Lord's umbrella of protection, as well as those that's that's up underneath our umbrella, if it be the Lord's will.
Right.
Because the Lord can have it set up to where you get delivered and your woman and your children don't, or you get delivered and your whole family gets delivered, or maybe He just saved one child, or
Right.
maybe He just saves your woman and kiddies. Right? It's all the Lord does whatever He wants.
Right.
So we just purely doing His work out of faith. All right, in Yahweh Bashem Shah.
Right.
Hey, Lord, like I said, the first world ended through a purification agent, which is water, and this second world is going to end through what? Another purification agent of fire. That's why I said now we see where there's 1 Peter 4, that 1 Peter 4 and 7 saying the end is coming. So we got to constantly stay sober.
Right.
We got to constantly stay vigilant. Keep our eye on the prize. This thing is here. Like I said, we are in those times, as in the days of Noah. We're in those times. We're at the latter end of these times.
Yeah.
Look at the time. Measure the time diligently, knowing what's going on with this world. Bro, this world is about to end. So if you got your head stuck in a woman's ass, you better pull it out. If you got your head in this world, you better come out of it.
Right.
All right, because these times now, the Lord, this grace period is about up. And how we know that? Because what? Through the time and through the things that Esau has implemented into this world, this is what the Lord said, the time is come and it's here.
Beautifully put, just like the precept we brought out earlier, 2 Ezra 9:5, and the end is made manifest. We here. We are here.
And those two ways that the Lord destroyed is what the water the first time, and he's about to destroy them with the fire this time, clearly tells you that those are the two worst ways to die, man, to be deleted, by water and fire, because the ultimate being, the supreme being, it's taking people. That's how He took the first round out. That's how He gonna take the second round out. So that clearly tells you that's the worst way you can go out, man.
Yeah.
Because that's how He's doing it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So to drown or to get burned up is clearly the two worst ways you can be deleted, to die. You know what I'm saying? So you don't want that action, man. You don't want that smoke, man. Say, hey, brother, hey, we that's why we're doing what we do. We come out, we do these videos, do our lessons, trying to be brotherly, give alms and just be charitable and all in, because charity covers a multitude of sins.
Right.
We trying to be covered, man, at the end of the day, bro. We trying to get out here. We trying to make it. You know what I'm saying? None of these brothers, I believe strongly in my heart, with all my spirit, wants that. These righteous brothers trying to do the best they can to get out of here, bro. And we're all in that sentiment, which the beginning started, possibly on down, man. You know what I'm saying? All those brothers, man. We watch them, the different elders and the elder bishops and, the elders here in Dallas, all the elders and the sincere brothers, man. We all fighting for that reward, man, that crown, man. You know what I'm saying? Second Ezra, the second chapter, man. We fighting to be a part of that ceremony, bro. You know what I'm saying? So, this is how you do it, bro. You know what I'm saying? So all you that rejecting this, F you, man. You know what I'm saying? May the Lord delete you.
Amen. As you see, as we talked about, and this is spirit the brother brought out. Spirit wanted us to go into the, thing, the situation with women. And
Right.
that wasn't really part of the plan, but that's where the spirit pushed it.
Right.
As you see us being the wise Yahweh, we trying to get the covering from our husband. Ultimately, so that's the mindset that women need to be in. Ultimately, getting in order that you may be protected and get that covering from your husband, because that's who you're gonna be married on to one of that day if you're in that right spirit.
Well, yeah, they're not doing anything we're not doing.
Right.
I got one last one. It's 1 Peter 4 and 7 in the NLT. The end of the world is coming soon. Therefore, be earnest and disciplined in your prayers. And the KJV verse 8, and above all things, have fervent charity among yourselves, for charity shall cover the multitude of sins. Yeah, man. So as scripture say, all right, seeing that all these things shall be dissolved, what manner of persons are you to be in all holy conversation and conduct, man? So seeing that the Lord is about to clearly, all right, get rid of this dispensation of time and set up the throne of David, all right, how should we be conducting ourselves as the men of the Lord?
Right.
Hopefully. Okay, putting on there for Yahweh Shah, man. Put on there for the elect.
Man.
You know, so easier said than done, but it's got to be done, and the elect is going to do it.
Right.
All right, so yeah, man. So hey, Lord willing, all right, you Akima Aqua, all right, of the elect were edified. Till next time, I want to give all praises. We want to give all praises unto
Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushua, Ba'ashem, Kakadash,
and give double honor to our beloved apostle, Elder Great Millstone, for all of the ball. Shalom.
Shalom.
Get yours.